Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here and enjoy the content, please like and subscribe to see more. In today's video we're going to restore the headlights on this 2005 Peugeot 307. The headlights are pretty faded and yellowed, so I'm going to show you how to do this with a fairly limited budget. So let's have a look at the headlights and let's have a look at what we're going to use to get them back up to scratch. Okay, so looking at the headlights, you can see they're very rough on top and very yellowed. So I'm going to try and get all that fixed. If this gets any worse, and especially along here on the front, this can distort the beam and give you an NCT or an MOT failure when you do a headlight test on it. So it's important to keep your headlights fairly clear. You can see the same on this one. It's a fairly simple process to get them back. You don't need any special tools. Although using DA polishers and direct drive polishers does give you a little bit of a better finish, I'm going to show you how you can do it without any of that specialised equipment. We're just going to use a drill. This is just a normal household everyday cordless drill, and you're going to need one of these. This is just a small little tool, goes in here and it's got velcro on one side which our polishing pads stick to, so it's really handy. We're also going to need some of this, some G3 cutting compound. Doesn't have to be this, any sort of cutting compound can do. Nothing special about it, this just does the job. And to polish them back up, we're going to use this. Now this is unbranded, but it is Auto Glim Super Resin normal car polish. We've got a little bit of detailer spray just to lubricate the pad a bit, and then when it's all said and done, this is the last thing you're going to need. You're going to need a headlight restorer sealant. This puts the sealant back on it so it can protect the headlight from UV rays. So without further ado, me rabbiting on anymore, let's get stuck in. Okay, so you just need 3 small dots onto your pad. Don't need a lot of this stuff. Then we'll wrap that up. Now we're going to want to turn the drill down to the slow setting, spread it around, and then just nice and easy. Up the speed once it's spread around. Now you want to be careful with heating up the headlight. You don't want the headlight getting too hot because you can melt and damage these, and then you just have to replace them. So let's wipe off our compound and let's see how we're looking after one pass. Okay, so let's have a look at our headlight. You can see a lot of the cloudiness has gone off after just one pass. You can still see a little bit, so additional passes may be needed. It already looks good to me. Let's have a look at it compared to the other one. This is the one we haven't touched yet. You can see it's still very yellow, very blurred up top. Now let's go back to the one we already done. Now one pass, I think that's an improvement. I'm going to go ahead and do additional passes, and then we'll come back when it's done and we'll see how they're looking. Okay, so we've compounded this twice, about as good as we're going to get it with the compound. So now I've got a little bit of polish on the pad. This is a flat pad, it's a little bit softer, so a little bit of polish. Now obviously if you go with different compounds, maybe something a little bit harsher, you can get rid of all of this totally. The best way to do headlights is actually wet sand them, but it's a little bit more specialised. You need a polisher, you need the sandpaper, you need about 4 or 5 different types of polish and compounds to get them back right, and there's a high risk of damaging the headlight if you don't know what you're doing. But for the sake of a couple of euro, this is the way to do it. It really, really is. Now the last step in our process is to put our headlight restorer on. So let's get this on. Apply this, get your soft rag, a couple of drops, just like that so you can see it's wet. Just make sure you cover the whole lens. Be fairly liberal with this, don't need to be careful, just make sure the whole lens is covered. And then you wipe it off with your carbon fibre cloth. That just protects the lens from UV. Yeah, for the sake of a couple of minutes walk, I think that looks markedly better than what we started with. So I'm going to go and do the other side and we'll have a look at the two of them when they're done. Okay, let's have a look at the finished article. Looking pretty good for me. Lifts the whole front of the car. Right to what we started with. All that yellowness is gone out of the headlight. They feel nice and smooth, no more roughness on them. Really, really good. They're not perfect, but they're really, really good. They're far better than what they were. As I said before, if you want it perfect, you really need to wet sand them. So you need a bit of specialised equipment for that. You don't really want to be doing that with a drill. You need different compounds, different polishes, different pads. So these are as good as you're going to get them on a tight budget. So I'll go through what it costs now. Obviously minus the drill. This is just a normal cordless rotary drill. I'm assuming a lot of people have this in the house rather than a polisher. A polisher is fairly specialised and it's fairly expensive. So if you just put rotary Velcro disc into an Amazon search, you'll get something like this pop up. I think this was about €6. The pads, they were less than a tenner I think on Amazon. The T-cut headlight stuff, you can get that in a kit. It comes with its own compound, but I find this compound's a little bit better. So that's, I think that was about 10 or €12 in Halfords. Any car polish will do for this. We just happen to have Auto Glim Super Resin, so any car polish for the second stage. Just G3 compound, that's a couple of euro. It's about £8 in any motor factors. You'll pick one up. The detailer spray I use, you don't have to use detailer spray, you can use just a window cleaner will do. It's not going to hurt. So that's all you need for that. And then you can get your headlights on. You're probably under €30 for the whole lot. And then just the steps I showed you there, take your time, and your headlights will come out looking like that. Yeah, it's pretty good. Night and day as well. It can be an NCT or an MOT file, so less than £30 to get your headlights sorted. And if you got to bring it to a garage or something like that, you could be into an hour's labour for them to get it done. You bring it to a detailer, same thing, could be into an hour's labour, whatever. They'll charge you 100 to 150 quid, I'd imagine, for an hour's labour. So that's that. So thanks for watching the video. Please like and subscribe if you like what you see, and I'll see you again in the next video. Cheers.